Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another Ford computer. It's an F-150 Lightning coming from California. Brian Saucedo. It's a 2004 F-150 Lightning. Again, this was repaired here a few months ago, and it was a long crank no start. Now he called me. He said he had the car in a transmission shop. And right after that, now the Fall 1747, I think it's 1247, if I remember properly, which is for the electronic pressure control solenoid, is now on all the time. So I said, send a computer. I'll help you. You're under warranty, even though this is not the concern that I repair the computer. And most likely it got damaged by something they did because the fault was not there before. I said, don't worry about it. Let me take a look at it and I'll let you know. But this is probably going to be covered by me on the warranty just to please the customer and help them out. But yeah, so sorry about that. Let me drink some water. I'm not going to show you any paperwork because he didn't send anything. But I have at least his BIN number from the last visit. So let me get you move here so you can see this is a URB1. These are very common on the 2004s. That URB, that's a tier tag number or digits. We're not going to be looking at RPMs or nothing. This is a completely different test for the EPC solenoid. So let me get the scanner in the screen. And let's establish communication. So I'm going to power the computer on, and let me connect the solenoid load. I'm using a test light so you guys get to see that here. It should probably be on. No, it's not. So let me actually turn this off. I know it's on. Make sure my test light is making contact. So let me get to a ground. I got no power. I made a mistake in there and I connected to ground. Ground and ground. So let me, oh no, actually, no, that's actually connected to power. I know what it is. I turned the full probe off, and without the full probe, I get no power when I am connected. That's why. Give me 1 second to reconnect here to the pin 81. Pin 81 is a control going over to the EPC solenoid. I have to turn the full probe on, otherwise I get no power in there. Just doing the selections for these vehicles. Yep, you see now we got the light. It's just because I closed this, there was no power in there. So this software has to be running in the background just to provide power, because I am connected into the full probe with my powers and grounds and everything you see on the small window, or yeah, a small window. All right, so the solenoid is now on, and just because the way I connected it. Let's connect to the scanner first. All right, so we're going to do an automatic ID because this is a 2004. It should read it properly, and based on his file, that digit should be C as in Charlie, A as in Apple, 20361. Okay, why is that connected? Let me redo it again because it should have. It has to do automatic ID for sure. Oh, no, it's no communication. See right here, I had dashes, so something is not. Oh, I haven't powered on. I powered off the full probe, but not the switch in here for the ignition. All right, let me redo it one more time. I saw the switch on and it wasn't on. It's just because it feeds power through that test light. That's it on my switch in here. All right, so we are going to connect. We go over to the engine, and in here we're going to do first a key on self-test. Let's go into memory codes first. Make sure if that folder is there. Okay, those are the only folds that we have left because I have not done parameter reset and I don't need it for the test that I'm doing. So in order to test that solenoid, we're going to do the self-test key on engine off, the first one. And then we're going to run it. This should like flash. The light should go off and flash, and it's not flashing. So I can immediately see that is indeed a problem with the EPC solenoid. And that's going to finish the test. And now we're going to scroll down. It should be on the last ones, usually is. And it's actually P1747. P1747. Pressure control solenoid. That's the fault right there. Obviously, I don't have the fast track, but that is the full code. P1747. It says pressure control solenoid short circuit electronic pressure control. What is this in here? Oh, I can select more faults. It's doing the test again, but we know it fails. All right, so let's scroll down again. P1747. That's the code that I really want to correct, and that's it. So what is it now? Right here. Hopefully you can see the hand moving in there. It's a very small one, white arrow. But yeah, it's the fourth one from the top to the bottom. No, the third one. Pressure control solenoid shorted. So the next thing we can go and take a look is the data. We're going to data display. This one mixes the data. I think it's in drivability. Let me just find it because I'm very familiar with the one that separates the transmission with this, but let's see if we can find it here. So let's do a custom selection. See if the EPC is in here. Just going very fast to see if it's in here. It doesn't look like it is. No. So this is not the correct list. Emission systems, evaluation faults, accessories. Why is it not giving me? Did we have transmission? I don't remember having transmission and engine separate on this one. Part neutral, RPMs. Misfire, system evaluation. Evap. Let's go into custom like that I can see better. Evap, EGC, injectors. Yeah, I don't see it in here either. CCS fault, CHT, evap. No. Let me find the guys and I'll be right back. Oh, my mistake, you know. I was in the engine. We need to go into this computer, even though it's the same computer. This scanner separates the engine and the transmission. So we're going to enter on the transmission side. We're going to go into data display. Let's see if we can see it now here. It should be EPC pressure and voltage. We're just going to take a look at the voltage. Okay, right now we can see we have 0 volts. And that should be reading the voltage across that test light. And it should be reading in between 1.5 to battery voltage. Whatever the computer is doing, it will read, but it has to read voltage. Otherwise, that's why the fault is there. Because the computer is reading 0, it thinks it's shorted. The solenoid is shorted and it's not. So yes, Brian, I'm definitely confirming your problem here. Let me do the repairs and I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, I finished the repairs. These I kept secret as on normal. This is just to show you and him that this is his computer. Again, URB1. And let me get to the connection again. Yeah, everything is on. So let's get enter to the engine. Let's do the codes engine on self-test as I did before. Remember what I tell you, that light should flash, not just go on and off and then die. No, it has to flash and finish the test. That's the normal test. All right, okay, now we see it. Look at that test light now flashing, 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 flashy. That is exactly what we're looking for. This is now not going to have that P1747 no longer, and this is the problem is 100% repair now. So this is, I'm going to scroll down all the way to the end looking for that fault that I know is no longer present. And that is excellent. So we got, and this is what I'm looking for. The 1746 is now open circuit. Why? Because it doesn't like the second fault from the bottom. It's why? Because the test light, it does not have the same resistance as in the electronic pressure control solenoid, but that is perfect because remember the fault we have, it was shorted. Now we have an open. Things change and the computer is finishing the test. So that's perfect. Let's go over to the data again in the transmission. This time I'm going to go properly. So we're going to go into, oops, I clicked the wrong thing, data display. And all we're going to look is for that voltage in the EPC volts. Now we have voltage, perfect. You see 12.22, 12.224. That is perfect. So battery voltage is there. What the computer is seeing now is the voltage across the solenoid. And since the resistance is not the same, probably the voltage is right now the same. They should be going through the solenoid. And that's what the fault is in here. And I have a solenoid pack and I can connect it and everything. But I know this is a valid test. I have done it hundreds of times and not ever one come back. So again, guys, this is a short video. Let me take the SUS out. This is a short video just to show you and the customers that I can repair these computers. I know these computers with my eyes closed. I have, like I said, as long as it's not a hole through it or somebody mess with it, that it damaged the computer, that cannot be repaired, I will be able to fix it 100%. I'm your best technician. I am an expert on this. And there is no other company in the world that does the service that I do. I'm separating my business with this. The trust to show the customer that before and after nobody else does, because you know what, they don't know what they're doing. They want to hide what they do, like it's a myth. And yes, I do not show the repairs, all the repairs. Why? Because I don't want people to copy what I do. I am showing you, my customers and people that are here, how to test it. You can use the test light connected to battery positive, connected to the negative, and you can do this thing. You know, that's what I said. You know, pin 81 is the one that goes over to the electronic pressure control. That is a 194 bulb. In the other side of that bulb is connected to positive. Why? Because the computer is going to provide the ground. You connect that in the vehicle and you run the test and you have a short and now you have an open. Well, the problem is not in the computer, it's in the transmission. But if you do that test, the light doesn't flicker, well, you know the problem is where? In the computer. Send it to Mike Salazar Diagnostics and we will help you with no doubt about it. I'm going to put the title of on the title of this video, my website, so you can copy and paste it in case you need to repair any computers, automotive or marine, instrument cluster, except for ABS and SRS. I don't work on those two due to liability. But for the rest, we're working with computers. I don't do tunes. I just stick with manufacturer repairs. All right, guys, see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.